What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Let's Chat with the DJ Rage. I am the DJ Rage. I'm also joined by a good friend of mine. His name is Mark. Mark is on the line here. How you doing, Mark?
How you doing?
What's going on? Talk one more time, Mark.
Hi.
Just want to make sure it's picking up your audio and everything to you. What's going on, everybody? Glad you guys were here to join us. For those that will watch us live, and for those that aren't, recording it also here, so that way we could actually upload to my YouTube page and stuff. This is definitely one you don't want to miss. Not gonna make it as long as I usually do on the others, because time is up to a little bit of the essence here for Mark and his children who are asleep. Thanks to Nyquil.
Exactly.
Thanks to
Yeah.
Nyquil. Yeah. So we're gonna kick it off real quick. A couple things I wanted to discuss with you. There is one major thing that we're going to discuss today. I don't want to give any spoilers. I've been deciding whether I want to do that or not. Be giving spoilers and stuff. I'm not going to do spoilers on Star Wars, but there are some new leaks that have come out. Um, we'll discuss that later. But right now, we're going to go into our first topic here. First topic here is going to be Valve has already announced that they're going to be making a new Half-Life. Now, this Half-Life will be taking place in between Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2. As all of y'all know, we've been waiting ages for a new Half-Life. For Half-Life 3, we've been all waiting for. Unfortunately, Half-Life 3 hasn't been announced, but this one is. A lot of people were skeptical with the new Half-Life. Being Half-Life Alyx was announced, and it is a VR only game. Uh, Uncertain yet if it's going to be coming to consoles right now, especially for VR, especially being that PlayStation currently has its own VR, as opposed to, of course, Steam and stuff like that, which is obviously owned by Valve. But right now, we do have a new trailer here for Half-Life Alyx, if you haven't seen it, so we're going to show that here real quick, and let's see if you like this trailer or not. Make sure I got this, and let's get our responses here on the Half-Life trailer. Hopefully I don't get nailed by Valve.
Alex? Alex!
I'm here. So what's the plan?
If we can get this weapon, what we're doing here could change things forever.
There's no straight shot to the vault. I'm gonna head inside, find a way out. Got it.
I'm with you every step of the way.
You're gonna need a gun! Don't worry, it's unloaded. It's unloaded now!
Combine chatter's really picking up. They know you're coming. You need to get out of here, now. Oh, God.
They've got Dad.
They're gonna find out what he knows, and then they're gonna kill him.
All this is my fault. I never told you. I couldn't. I'm so sorry, baby.
You will not save him. Alex Vance alone cannot prevent his fate.
Close your eyes, honey.
Nice, nice. So far this is looking really, really, really good. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was a little skeptical about it being a VR only title, but it looks like it's gonna be running pretty good. It is gonna be running on the Vive, Oculus, Windows. So far, Windows system and their VR system and whatnot. I don't see any, you know, don't see anything for console yet here on here, which is cool, which I understand. I mean, it totally would work pretty good. As you looked on the video, I saw on the video, the graphics are looking amazing. Mark, have you ever played Half Life?
No, never played it. I'm still on Nintendo, buddy.
So Mark is still playing the NES, which is fine. It's a good system. I mean, there's a lot of people that are still playing the NES. God knows I still play it too. So yeah, so word has it it's gonna be between the story's gonna be between Half Life 1 and 2. Um, it's looking amazing, and So right now, for a quick rundown, Alex Vance and her father Eli secretly mount the resistance to a brutal occupation by Earth or of Earth by a mysterious alien race known as the Combine. I'm showing that here to you guys right now on screen. And that's what the game description is reading, of course, according here. This is according to Kotaku off their recent article here today. As Alex, you take the flight to the Combine to save the future of humanity. I'm liking the way this is looking. It's not looking like a generic kind of VR game. It's definitely not looking, because, I mean, let's be honest, most of the VR games we see that have come out, there have been a couple and stuff like that, but we all know the debacle that was Borderlands 2 that happened with the VR, but there have been a couple VR games, but you don't see a lot of actual graphics and the graphic integration and a lot of stuff go behind it. You see a lot of story and stuff like that to start with it. So here, this is actually looking like it's not just combining the story and using the story from Half-Life and giving you that whole, you see the full upgrade of everything, when it comes graphic-wise and things like that. So I'm really liking the way this is looking. It's looking like it's going to be doing good. And here's an update right here from this afternoon. Actually, Valve designer and programmer Robin Walker said that some former members of the Firewatch studio, Campo Santo, hired by Valve last year, will continue working on the next game in the Valley of Gods, and also are working on Half-Life Alyx. I'm hoping it's going to be a fantastic game. I'm hoping it's going to be great. I really get nervous when I see a studio kind of split themselves up between multiple projects, because that really worries me. But I'm hoping Valve's really putting a lot of time and effort into this, and because this is definitely what the fans want. I see it being one of those things like, okay, guys, we want to give you Half-Life 3. We want Half-Life 3 to be a fantastic game for you, and definitely want to bring it to the fans. But first, let's get your teeth on another little game here. We're gonna make a VR game, and kind of at that point to where, like, hey, if this VR game does well, then we'll go on and we'll move on to making Half-Life 3 to see how that goes. Problem with that is not a lot of people have VR tech. Not a lot of people use the HTC Vive or the Oculus Rift. You know, um, the PlayStation VR is actually a very good VR system. I think it launched a little bit ahead of its time, but to be honest with you, I really see that PlayStation's putting more focus behind that as you see more games coming out for the VR. This is not gonna doesn't look like to be one of them yet. We'll see what happens there. I actually see Sony really, really chomping at the bit to want to take this one on and going to do everything they can to put any type of financial backing behind this. So we'll see how that goes with PlayStation. But right now, it looks like it's only going to be for PC, which is, if you talk to anybody across the board, everyone will tell you PC is the super race for console or for gaming and things like that. Is the master race, should I say? Uh, I'm not gonna take a side either way. I do have my opinion, but I'm not gonna state that because that's not what this is about. But anyway, so that's Half-Life Alyx there for you. Alrighty, so we're gonna move on to Mark here. We're gonna move on to another subject, but this is gonna be Disney Plus. Now, Disney Plus has launched. This has been what, about almost a month now?
No, actually a couple of weeks, I think.
Okay. So Disney Plus is launched, of course, as some of you may know, pretty much all of you already know, because it's been all over the media and all over the news and whatnot. So it's been talking about Disney Plus. Everyone's going crazy. Disney Plus, bringing all your Disney content, all that stuff, and everybody. The biggest debacle behind it was the fact that, I think that's the second time I've said debacle. Debacle. Once again, weren't we discussing how I say old people terms? But the biggest thing behind Disney Plus right now is the fact that, the biggest thing that everybody was pissed was their acquisition of pretty much almost all Marvel movies, should I say. There are still a couple, but that are still owned by, it's still owned by Fox, right? I believe it was like
Yeah.
the X-Men franchises and stuff.
With Spider-Man.
And Spider-Man, right. But this one actually, but Disney Plus does have X-Men the cartoon, am I correct? The original series?
Yeah, they have all seasons there, including they do have the animated series of Spider-Man on there,
Okay.
but not
So
the live action.
what is your impressions on Disney Plus right now?
I honestly think it's great. I think a lot of people got it for the nostalgia. Um, it does have its glitches.
Okay.
I've noticed that. There's been things that, and I think there was a lot of people that have complained about it that it's been lagging, it's been hard to log on. I think they had that on the day one when they first launched. They were having trouble with it, and honestly, I still have trouble with it. There's some things that disappear on my watch list. They took off the continue watching. So if you're watching a series, you finish an episode, you got to remember what episode you were on, pretty much. They took that feature off. I don't know if that's what was causing the glitches or something like that, but that's something that I wish they had. There, I feel like I saw a lot of people saying they should have known what they were gonna expect. You know what I mean? Like expect the faults. You know what I
Right.
mean? But I don't know. It's a great service, great shows. I feel like there's tons more that they could add on there. I know they got the rights to certain things that they can't put on there immediately. There's a lot of stuff that I do like that they have on there, but it says you can't see it for the next year or two. You know what I mean? That's kind of a bummer. But
Yeah.
they have it
That.
on their list. Yeah, and you're like you can't watch it till 2020 or something like that. Uh, that's how I feel about it. Like, I think it's a great. My kids use it every day. I use it every day. My wife got excited about it. She has her own profile. We all use it every day since it's launched. But it could be better. You know what I mean? I don't think they were saying it's going to be a Netflix killer. I don't think it's a Netflix killer yet. It has the potential, but they really need to work on some of their things. What do you think about it?
Honestly, I kind of have some hit or misses with this program, with Disney Plus. I like Disney Plus. I like the fact that they went in wholeheartedly, like full on, just jumped right into it by just throwing everything and anything they could possibly put on this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they added
Hmm.
a lot. The Mandalorian, of course, is the one thing going across the net. And to be honest with you,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that are bashing this. A lot of Star Wars fans are bashing the Mandalorian right now for where they're going. But to be quite honest with you, I like it. If you go in, like I think you and I discussed this yesterday, if you go in with no expectation, just expecting just to see a Star Wars flick, not trying to look at any type of where does it integrate anywhere in the Star Wars trilogies, or I mean, I'm sorry, the Star Wars series, or any of that. Just look at it like, you know what, I'm gonna go in and just make it a flick, just a show that I want to watch. You know what I mean? It's fantastic.
Yeah,
It's
I
good.
agree. It's a great show, and look at it this way: we have a Star Wars show that didn't exist anywhere. You know what I mean? We should be grateful that we have a Star Wars show.
I
You know what
agree.
I mean? And it's you just got to think of it like I told you the other day. It's pretty much like a western. It's gonna be a little bit of a slow burn, but it's gonna pay off. I believe it's gonna pay off.
I agree. I agree. You know, like I was mentioning a few seconds ago, and I'm actually showing the screens right now for the Disney Plus service here, going through it and just showing, from my own Disney Plus service here.
Hmm.
Of course, I'm on Disney Plus, of course, because hey, I want to talk about it, right? Of course, you
Yeah.
see, the biggest things here. Another thing that I would really surprise me for Disney was the entire Simpsons catalog.
Oh yeah, I heard
That
about that.
that surprised me, and it's currently on now. I'm looking at it now. You got the entire seasons here. Of course, Avatar's on here as well. That's being
Did you
advertised on the
hear
main
about the
page.
backlash for Simpsons?
No, I did not hear about the backlash. Talk to me. Tell me about that.
A lot of the people are complaining because the aspect ratio has been changed
Really?
for the Simpsons episodes. Yes, so a lot of people have been saying that you can't see the full screen or the jokes. Some of the jokes you have to look outside, and they're missing that part. And I think Disney promised that they're gonna change the aspect ratio next year. That you get to choose which ratio you want it on certain episodes or certain
Really?
seasons.
That's
That's been a
interesting.
big factor. Yeah, the pretty much they cropped it. They cropped the picture, and you miss a lot of stuff in the background, a lot of jokes that they put in there that you pretty much can't see, and that's been a big backlash
I
from
wonder
Disney
why
to
they would have
Simpsons.
done that though. Were they
I think
afraid
it probably
that?
has to do with HD
You think so?
clarity. Yeah, I think so.
Like I can understand with the first couple seasons because the first couple seasons weren't really in the high definition at the time. I'm sure they've been redone now, but even at the
Yeah,
same
I think it's
time,
the later seasons that are okay. It's the earlier seasons that the aspect ratio has been changed drastically.
Yeah, because I was looking right now, and it showed, you see pretty much all of them there. It looks like they're all the seasons are there. I didn't go into full detail on that, but I mean, that's crazy. I didn't know that. Either
And
way,
here's the funny thing.
uh huh.
Here's the funny thing. X-Men, I think the Spider-Man too, those classic cartoons, their aspect ratios are
Yeah,
fine, and
yeah.
they pretty
So
much
there,
came out around the same time.
so I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'll show everybody here real quick my watch list here. But I'm looking through all the seasons real quick for Simpsons here, and this is everything. This is all seasons. Damn, I can't believe it was going this long. I mean, where are we going? Season 30. Like
30.
that's freaking insane. Can you imagine trying to binge watch all this shit like in a day? Like, no, it's not happening. It's not gonna happen. But like right here on my watch list, I have obviously X-Men the series on here because I was a huge X-Men fan. I love X-Men. I love everything they do here, and it's the full 5 seasons that came out on X-Men, which the X-Men series, which I really, really love. So I was extremely excited. Of course, all of them are on the old TV aspect ratio, so of course you do see that black, that the centered screen is the actual cartoon or whatever, and then you do at times see the black um, borders and stuff like that to it because it's understandable. Like when the season series launched, it wasn't HD at the time, anything like that. So
Mhm.
I would understand if they wanted to go back and change it, but even then, watching it on a flat screen kind of looks kind of a little blotchy, a little strange. But another thing that really struck me, I mean, to be honest with you, I like the content that's on here. I'm gonna be honest with you. I like the content they have here. They have a lot of old school movies, which honestly remind me of my childhood, and I'm old as hell, so I remember, Bed Knobs and Broomsticks and all those other movies. I like that they have, like, Mary Poppins, the original on here, because I wasn't a big fan of the new one. I know a lot of millennials love the new one, but I wasn't a big fan of the new one. I thought it was kind of like eh. But yeah, like I liked how they have the original cartoons, everything there, and they have everything up to the newer ones too. Um, I am surprised with the most past Star Wars isn't on here yet, but it will be available in December. Pretty much around the same time as new Star Wars launches and stuff like that. So that I like. I don't like their menu system. I like how they have it set up kind of like Hulu slash
Ne-
Netflix, kind of setup. What I don't like is one of the bigger things that I don't like is when I'm watching a series, like X-Men, for instance, or Simpsons. I'm
mhm.
watching a series, it doesn't immediately jump over to the next season. It'll do that a couple times and then it'll just stop. So you've really got to remember where you left off. Let's say I'm watching season 3, episode 6, and I've watched through most of that season, and all of a sudden it won't skip over to the next one. All of a sudden it'll just end and then go back to the home screen, and then I have to remember, oh shit, what was the last season I was on, and now I'm here scrolling, and they just find it very inconvenient. Where Netflix outperforms, and pretty much everybody else outperforms in that. I don't understand how Disney didn't get that going. Hopefully they fix that.
Well,
I don't see it being
they
a big
did have it in the beginning. They had to continue watching, like I had said, but
problem.
I think they took it off, and people were complaining why did they take it off. But I don't know if it was hurting the system because you know how people had trouble logging in.
Right.
Their watch list wasn't appearing. Let me ask you this: have titles from your watch list disappeared? Because they've disappeared on my list.
So here's the thing. I had a lot of titles on here. I'm looking at my watch list now. Of course, I've had all the, Star Wars series on, or the Star Wars movies on here, The Mandalorian and X-Men. I had other stuff on here, and they're not here
Hmm.
no more. So yeah. So a lot of my stuff has left. A lot of my watch list has left.
Yeah, I've been having the same troubles. I've tried adding them on, and they don't appear. You know what I mean? It's little things like that that they need to
Really?
really work
Let me
on.
try something right now.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can add something on here. Let's see here. Let me go to Simpsons. We were just talking about it. Let me go into the Simpsons and let me try to add it to my watch list. Says it's added. Let's go to my watch list. Yeah, it's right there on the watch list.
Okay. You see, there's
So
certain things. It took me a while, man.
I think
I
a
had
lot
to.
of
I
it.
decided to just redo everything, take everything off, and redo it, and it worked
Right.
like that.
Yeah, like now there's a site here, and I'll put that in the links. I'll put it in the link down below the comments here later when I upload the video and stuff. But the name of the place is called Down Detector, and this is pretty much will give you. You can pretty much look across to see if there's any down problems on pretty much anything, any outages, things like that. This one is for Disney Plus. This will give you the Disney Plus problems as you see right now on the screen. Disney Plus problems over the last 24 hours, and it'll go hour by hour or every few hours, showing you what how many outages you're looking, how many reports are going for a lot of people. If you're looking right now, today, as of 8 p.m. Central Time, which is about 54 minutes ago for us, I'm looking at the grid right now,
Okay,
and
wait. Let's do a little drum roll. What is it?
right now, as of 8:29 p.m., 435 reports have come in already across the board that Disney Plus is down.
That doesn't surprise me.
You know, that's definitely something that's been going on. Pardon me, had to cough there.
That does not.
So, and another thing is too, if you look here, there is a live outage map you could look at. Let me click on that real quick. I'm curious. Looking at a live outage map. It'll probably ask me for whatever, but I'm actually looking here. If you see, it's funny because it hasn't launched over. I know it's launched overseas. Am I right?
You know what? I haven't checked on that.
I think they
I think.
said the only place that has. Oh yeah. So I think they said the only place that hasn't launched yet was in China yet, but it will be. So if you look at the full map here, why is it? That's showing the U.S. twice. What the shit? Yes, because the U.S. is so big, it's done twice in the world. So if you look here, you'll see some parts in Australia here are down. A couple places over here, I couldn't. I am horrible, but it's the Netherlands. There we go. Let me zoom in so I can tell you what part of the country that is. I'm horrible. I am definitely not a history major or anything like
Big
that.
F in history right there. I
Yeah,
can
yeah,
already tell.
yeah. I'm awful. But if you see U.S., some parts of Canada, a lot of places are down. If you actually look down where we're located here in South Texas, near Mexico and stuff like that, near Matamoros and all that area, you're actually looking. There's been some reports, but the heaviest reports are showing out in the New York base area. New York, Boston, Washington, Raleigh. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I do believe that even in Indianapolis, these are a lot of more of the colder areas that are getting hit with a snowstorm and some storms right now. So I can probably see that happening. Um, However, Miami, a lot of Florida is reporting downtimes. You know, so a lot of areas, Dallas, Austin, Houston, Amarillo, a lot of these places are reporting downtimes. Of course there is colder weather, things like that going across, so that could probably affect some stuff, but things like that can happen. But anyway, I like this here. So if you want to check it out yourself, you can go to downloaddetector.com, and I'll actually put that up in the chat as well, and I'll also post it underneath everything here. So
Yeah, and good luck calling customer service because you'll probably be waiting there for hours.
yeah, that's gonna be, oof, that's gonna be crazy. But yeah, I mean, overall, I do like Disney Plus. I like Disney Plus. I like the services they add, or they provide, things like that. I really do enjoy all that. So that's cool and all. As for it, could use a little help. I still find that there's still some episodes, some shows, stuff like that from the past that haven't come on that they have announced that they're gonna go ahead and add. So that's cool. As you see here on the Vault, Jungle Book, stuff like that. So if you guys haven't look, if you even looked, Mickey Mouse throughout the years, they had their own thing. You got the original Steamboat Willie, stuff like that. For a lot of y'all that are, nostalgic, I love these. I remember a lot of these. I won't say Steamboat Willie because I wasn't around then. I'm not that old, but I do remember a lot of these. So definitely want to check it out. If you're huge on Disney, definitely want to check it out. If you haven't checked it out, been kind of pondering on whether you should or shouldn't. If you like to watch a lot of movies with your kids, like to watch a lot of movies, especially for y'all that have families, even if you don't have family, you definitely want to watch your childhood back again. I myself recommend it. What do you think?
I recommend it too. Just be weary of the little glitches.
Yeah, be wary of
Be
glitches.
prepared.
Glitches will happen. Yeah, as you know, especially for myself being a gamer, nobody knows glitches better than I. Better than us gamers. We all know we all have glitches. Nothing is perfect. So the
Yeah,
way it is. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But hopefully they do iron it out. Knowing Disney, they have no choice but to. Alrighty.
And 6.99, it pretty much sells itself. It's the cheapest right now. Well, it's not the cheapest, but compared to other streaming apps and this big streaming war that's going on, it's not bad price. It really isn't.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. It's not a bad price. Yeah, especially with what's going on with Netflix and everything like that. I'm like, what is it, like every other year or something that Netflix decides that they want to jack the price up, jack the price up, jack the price up. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah,
kind of messed up. Even like with I believe the ESPN app has its issues too, where you can only have like one or two devices or pay like an outrageous amount. I have not seen that issue with Disney Plus, where I can't have it on multiple devices. Have you?
nah, we use it pretty much in every device, and that's another great point that you can use at least. I guess you can use four screens at the same time, and they're charging you pretty much 6.99. Netflix charges you close to $15 for
Yeah,
the four screens. So
yeah,
that's pretty much
definitely.
what I paid, close to $20 for
Yeah,
four screens.
exactly.
So that's yeah,
Yeah, like I think I've had it on. I've have it on my PC, my TV, through my Roku, my
yeah.
phone, the other two PCs here, the other console. I mean, not consoles, the other Roku TVs and Amazons. They all run it the same account, and I haven't had a single issue with it telling me we can't. Not to say that Disney isn't gonna be like, wait a minute, we need to we need to go ahead and dumb this back a bit. But you know what? If they do, at the price point that it's at, it's still not bad. And if it still comes under the price of Netflix, it's even better. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have Netflix. I'm not a big fan of Netflix anymore. And the reason I'm not a big fan of Netflix anymore is because I do find there's a lot of content that I don't care about. You know, do I like Stranger
Yeah,
Things and things like that? Yeah, Stranger Things is alright, cool, it's cute, whatever. But I'm not a big fan of Stranger Things. Not enough to the point to where I'm going to pay for a Netflix membership just to watch one or two shows. And a lot of the movies they keep putting out are old ass movies. You know what I mean? Are older movies and even some of the newer ones. I mean, let's be honest, man. What is it like? Everybody's doing a Netflix movie nowadays. Netflix or Hulu movie. So
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. But alrighty, all right. So now that that's talked about and probably beaten to death, we're gonna move on to our next category. I was really hesitant to talk about this, so I was waiting for a while because there's been leaks like crazy going on about the new Star Wars, Rise of Skywalker. And if y'all have seen the trailers and are big Star Wars fans, I will tell you right now, I will not have to give a warning here regarding spoilers because I'm not going to spoil it. I was deciding whether I was going to do that or not, and I decided not to. I decided not to go ahead and spoil what I've learned. But if you're
Thank
really, yeah, if you're really looking into knowing more and actually want to know the spoilers, I'm not going to be the person to do that. I'm not even going to post a link to the information that I found on this, but I will tell you it is available online. It's not hard to find this information, especially right now and especially today. So, a lot of information came out regarding Star Wars, the new Star Wars. So, I'll give you a quick rundown. Over about a year or two ago, and I was talking to Mark about this yesterday. About a year or two ago, it was rumored that there were private screenings for a lot of media and different people that were personally invited to come see Star Wars at
Pretty much
multiple screens.
corporate.
There was about a dozen screenings, but a lot of the media was there. There's a lot of media people that were selected to be there. So during the screenings for Star Wars, they went ahead and showed their original concept, all this stuff, and there's a reason why I'm calling it original concept. Done in three acts. Act one, of course, being the beginning, middle, and end. Act one, two, and three, right? Act one, so everybody had a score. Everybody was taking scores and stuff because they were trying to score it with everybody there, see what everybody thought. There's about a dozen screenings, remember, like I mentioned. Okay, so this happened multiple. So, as reported before by other people, and this has been reported by multiple sources, again, I cannot validate the authenticity of any of this information. Can't validate it. I don't know these people, these specific sources, stuff like that personally. I don't know them personally, but I will tell you that, you get one or two people that say one thing, okay, questionable. Get a third, a fourth person, all right, plausible. You get quite a few people that all corroborate the same story, but don't know each other from different areas. You know what I'm saying? And you might be able to take a little bit of truth with it, but still, as always treat it with skepticism, just like I do. I treat it with a lot of skepticism, and of course, always take all your information with a grain of salt, depending on who you're getting it from, right? Either way, so a lot of this stuff happened anyway. So the first act scored at about a 65, 69%. Second act, which is the middle of it, scored a 4%. 4% likability between everybody there. And the ending, Act 3,
Probably another casino cent.
2%. 2%. Over the entire 12 screenings, the overall consensus for the movie was a 24%. 24% likability. Now, again, this is just an open public, or not a public screening, it's a private screening for people. This happens a lot with studios. Studios will do this to find out, okay, what was good, what hit them, what didn't, what they like, what didn't they like, and this is where they're able to take care of certain things, whether it be before, pre-post production or whatever they're gonna do, keep, what they decide to leave on a cutting room floor, all that stuff. This is the reason for doing those things. So, in the last, in their last screening, a certain gentleman, and I won't give out his name because I don't feel like being copyright stricken again. But anyway, one of the main heads for the studio, there at Disney, sat in when they showed the ending that they originally had in concept. People started laughing. It was supposed to be one of the serious points of the movie. People started laughing. Whatever. He got pissed. He was pissed off. That's saying it lightly. The actual term for it was pretty vulgar, but he was pretty upset. Especially when he talked to other people asking him why, and they were like, this isn't Star Wars. So anyway, he decided to go ahead and yell at everybody and, the entire team and tell them they need to go back and redo this movie again because he wasn't happy with how it turned out. So, again, many months have gone by. It was about 2 years ago, I would say, or a year or two ago. They went ahead, cut some things, reshot, did a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, went into lots of money, hundreds of millions of dollars, and to redo this. Came back, rescreened it again for the same people that saw it before, but with, different people as well. Another set of dozen screenings or so. This time they changed a few little things. It scored worse. It scored worse the second time around. Again, of course, execs are pissed. Like, where's all our money going to? This is, we need this to hit. This needs to be the best. So, with all that said, they decided to bring George Lucas in. George Lucas decided to write the whole ending. Do it his vision. So, last we heard, George Lucas was going to be George Lucas's ending with a little bit of a twist. Now, I don't think they're going to use Lucas's ending. Okay? Because Lucas's ending didn't make any sense when I read what was going on here. So, I kind of want to tell y'all what Lucas's ending was because I feel that this is definitely not going to be the ending. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't make sense. With everything that they've built up, it wouldn't make sense. But I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it alone. If you really want to know, reach out. You can definitely find this online. So today it was some new information came out. And according to this was actually this screening was done a couple days ago for what is known as the final product right now. Before they're actually sending out invites right now to actors, studios, things like that to set up their actual, how they do their final screenings, their final few screenings before they decide to go ahead and release it. This is already setting up to that, and supposedly this is a product that they want to release. I will tell you this: it looks like they've changed the ending significantly. From what I've read and what I've found from multiple sources, all corroborating the same thing. Of course, all these sources are all different. They don't know each other. They don't even work together. You know, there's a lot of stuff. I am shocked. This is definitely going to cause a lot of shock in the theater. For all of you that are going to go watch it, I will tell you this: be ready to see a lot of shock and awe. At the final ending of this, where everyone should celebrate, you will not see a single. I will tell you right now, you will not see, if this is actually the ending, you will not see any celebration from anyone in the theater. You're going to see people pissed off, yelling, screaming about it, maybe even crying about it, because it's pretty damn crazy. It's pretty insane. Or you're just going to see people in shock and awe that just don't have anything to say, probably yourselves included. But just remember that I told you to be ready for this, to get yourself mentally prepared for this, because it is going to be something that you would have never expected from any Star Wars film, especially any director. Second of all, this is going to be the longest Star Wars ever made, with a runtime of 155 minutes. That's been confirmed.
Oh,
Huh?
pretty much 2.5 hours.
Yeah, about 2.5 hours. And that's been confirmed by Disney themselves. Um, so just to let y'all know too, all right, and I'm gonna warn y'all now. Going on the final thing, so I can go ahead and get this going, because I know Mark's got his kids or whatever. But I'm gonna let you guys know right now. 1 week before it releases in the U.S., it will be premiering in Japan. It's going to premiere in Japan 1 week before it releases here in the U.S. If you go through this entire time until release day, or until the day, of it launch, or even the week before, if that comes up and you still have not seen any spoilers, don't want any spoilers, don't want to know, you need to stay off social media. Stay off of YouTube. Stay off of Reddit. Stay off of Twitter. Stay off of Facebook. Stay off of all this stuff, because if you know anybody that's either from Japan, or people that are looking for those teasers and confirmations and stuff, you're going to start finding out. It's going to flood the internet insanely crazy the week before launch. So be prepared. I'm letting you know right now, be prepared, because the only way you're going to know about this is, and we're going to know it's a fact, is once the confirmation leaks come out. Definitely want to stay off Rotten Tomatoes and stuff too. Don't want to be looking up reviews and stuff, especially, because you're going to see some reviews that are going to kind of spoil some things and stuff like that. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, we should do our own review. We should do our own review the day we
should.
see it later that night.
You know what?
Spoiler free, of course.
I'm down for that. It'll be late.
Later, the next,
But we could do
the
it.
next day.
I think we could do it while it's fresh, in our minds. But then again, at the same time, we'll work it out. We'll work it out to where we're able to do it, but to where it's still kind of fresh in our minds and stuff for it. I'm not gonna go in there with a video camera trying to record it. I don't feel like getting arrested. But
No, but we're both seeing it at the same time, so we can
right,
take away what we thought of it in our own ways, or our own words actually. So
yeah,
we'll see. I'm not worried, honestly. It's like I told you, I'm not worried about these rumors. To me, I feel like it's just, I hate this term fake news, but that's how I feel like. It's just, to me, I feel like Disney would not release something that they weren't really sure. I still have my bad taste with The Last Jedi. It's like I told you, I haven't seen it since the theaters. I own a copy of it.
right.
I haven't felt like I need to watch it again. It really, I'm passionate about Star Wars, but that one kind of let me down. It's like you said it too. It's a good movie, but I feel like they or I would say okay movie. Not even give it a good movie.
Yeah.
But, but I feel like all this stuff that you're hearing, I feel like it's just people just starting up shit. You know what I mean? Kind of
You
little
know,
rumors.
and at first I thought
Maybe
the
it's
same
a good
thing
thing.
too. At first, I'm gonna be honest with you. At first, thought the same thing. I know this is gonna sound a lot like I believe everything that's going on, but
Yeah,
at
because
first,
it doesn't like.
yeah, I, I, I thought the same thing too. I thought there was a lot of hate, a lot of salt, a lot of stuff going on behind it. You know, it's just a lot of bull. It's a lot of bullshit. But after seeing so many confirmations, you know, on everything that people,
Yeah,
you know, were, it's after seeing so much of that, it's kind of hard to dismiss it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I know
Um,
what you mean.
so you know, looking into it, but looking at where their ending goes, it is so far fetched. It is so ridiculous of an ending. I would not be surprised if it was the actual ending. That's how much. I mean, that's about as much as I could probably say without spoiling this thing. The ending is like, what the fuck is this? You know, I'll tell you this. It was so bad. The ending was so insanely, and I wouldn't say bad because it's gonna be emotional as shit if this is the ending. If this is true, the ending is going to really, it's gonna make grown men cry. People that you've never cried, you are going to cry with this because it's gonna just shock the shit out of you. I wouldn't say because of what's happening, but because of just like what, you know what I'm saying? Like just the surprise, like what? Like it's, but that's if this is the ending. Again, it's quite possible this isn't.
Yeah, you know what worries me,
What's that?
really, honestly. None of these rumors, the 8 minutes of footage that they have of Carrie Fisher. How are they gonna do that in the story? Like, is that enough Carrie Fisher to like complete the story? You know what I mean? It feels real little. They're working with past footage that they didn't use. That's what really worries me. Like, I feel like they're
Yeah,
not
if
gonna.
they, I'm gonna be honest with you. If they go with the CGI that they use, look, I liked Rogue One. I thought the story was good for Rogue One. For those that went into Rogue One, like, oh my god, everybody dies. You know, spoiler alert. They're like, oh my god, they die. Like, they kind of explained that in Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like the original Star Wars, they kind of told you that ahead of time. You know what happened in the
Yeah.
original Star Wars. But at the same time, um, you know, if you, you know, the one thing I didn't like about Rogue One was taking original Leia footage and trying to CGI it. I thought it looked so freaking horrible. It
Fake.
looked
Yeah.
it looked terrible. If they try to pull that same shit, because I'm gonna tell you right now, they are, with all the other cuts and all the extra stuff that they've done to this so far. It's already been reported they're over $500 million budget. Can they make that money back? Of course, of course. I mean, we're looking at what, 100, almost 100 million, or 100, almost near a billion. They've almost hit $1 billion in spent just to make this movie. And for the length that it is, 2.5 hours, dude, get ready. Get ready to see. They're going to be expecting to hit at least $1.5 billion, the 1.5 billion with a B mark within opening weekend.
Oh
Just
yeah,
wait.
it's gonna make all the money.
And I think they can, especially releasing it in Japan first. That's gonna give them that cushion. But doing the full worldwide release within the first, I was gonna say release, doing the full worldwide release within the first weekend, that's really gonna help them. That could help them. So we'll see. But yeah, like I'm kind of worried about that too. But looking at what I've looked on there, I can see where they went, where what they're gonna do with the whole Carrie Fisher footage that they had before she passed. But you know, like I said, we'll see what's going on. Moving on to something side
Just,
note here, real quick. Oh, go
just
ahead.
like I told you, just give me Baby Yoda and that's it. I'm happy.
Yeah, dude, Baby Yoda for life, bro. For life. Baby Yoda. If you haven't seen Mandalorian 2, the season 2, or what, episode 2. I'm sorry, season 1, episode 2. Need to watch it. If you haven't seen the show, it's actually a pretty damn good show. I'm not gonna lie. I stick by it. I like the show. All right,
Yeah.
real quick, real quick add on, real quick here. On my last video that I put up, and I know it's been a while, I apologize for not making videos every week like I had originally intended. Been kind of on a little bit of a hiatus, having a few little things going on, but still, regardless, I'm back. So real quick, just to finish this up here, real quick, because I'm already about to hit the 1 hour mark here. Um, Real quick, I brought up last week, or last episode, on Google Stadia, what was going on, how certain people or most people weren't going to be getting their Founders Pack. So here we are, a day later. Okay, 1 day later. It's already, The Verge is already announcing it here, and people that got Stadia still haven't gotten their launch codes, their Founders Pack. So I'm going to be honest with you. Here's what's going on, and if you don't know this, real quick, I'll let you know. If people that actually order the Stadia's Founder Pack at $129.99 plus tax, of course, US. In that Founders Pack, aside from the Chromecast Ultra or Ultimate and the controller, you were supposed to get your Stadia, your Founders code for it, which came with Destiny 2 and all that, fun little stuff like that. Second of all, there was supposed to be a buddy invite code for 3 months, a buddy code for 3 months that you were supposed to give to a friend. You can give to a friend, they could have Stadia, the full access to Stadia 2 for free. So it was announced last minute that the buddy codes weren't going to be included. That only people that ordered in the first wave, like I think it was the first week when it first got announced last year, only those people were getting their controllers and all their stuff for it. The Google, you're like, okay, that's fine. I already have an Ultimate Chromecast, a Chromecast Ultimate. That's cool. I'll just go ahead and run it on there. No. The update for Google Stadia was only on the Chromecast Ultimates that shipped with the Founders Edition. It does not work on your current one. An update's coming later. It doesn't work on every Chromecast. Only the Ultimate. So you're going to need to buy that if you don't have that yet. If you want to do it from your PC, that's not coming until next year. So you can use multiple controllers or different controllers, stuff like that. A lot of problems happened with this launch. It was still kind of uncertain, and even myself, I was a bit confused, thinking, okay, you pay for a service, you can just stream whatever games. Wrong. You're paying for the service to use it monthly or yearly, but you're still paying for the games at full price. And we're not just talking about new titles. Some of the titles that they announced for launch didn't even come out, aren't even releasing for another couple weeks. Some not till next year. So for Destiny 2, you can buy Destiny 2 right now on console, PC, or whatever. It's free. Unless you want the DLC. On Google Stadia, if you had the Founders Pack, it was included. But if you didn't, it is $60. You're paying the full price for the game. And if you don't have internet, guess what? You can't play the game. There's a lot of little flaws to Stadia that I'm really worried about. I was a huge fan of it. I was one of the play testers, the original alpha and beta testers for Stadia. I liked where they were going. Once they decided all this, no. So, real quick rundown, and I apologize for taking a little bit longer than I should have, but real quick rundown. My recommendation right now for Google Stadia is no. Do not get Google Stadia now, if you're wondering. Do not get Google Stadia. Do not invest in it right now. Give it time. Give it some time. We'll see where it goes from there. We'll see if they switch it over to something different. But yeah, that's my little quick follow up there with Google Stadia. Once again, thank you for joining us here on Let's Chat here with DJ Rage and Mark. Mark, thank you for joining us here. I'm thinking about keeping him around for more movie news and stuff because this is our movie insider right here. So should be keeping him around and seeing how it's going. Mark, do you have anything you want to add?
No, thanks for having me, man. It was very informative.
Cool.
Fun.
Very informative. You're like, I learned stuff.
Very informative. Very informative.
I appreciate everybody that follows this channel. I appreciate that. If you like this video, definitely hit that like button. Do that. If you dislike it, of course, hit the dislike button. Stuff like I can understand that. Hey, constructive criticism lets me know how to get better and what we need to do to be better. Especially, I did get a new camera, and it still looks like shit. So, hey, you know what? Definitely subscribe, follow, all that fun stuff. Let me know how you feel. Always comment. Let us know. how everything goes, definitely let me know everything that you can. Let me know that you're out there. Let me know what's going on. All right. Thank you once again. Thank you for joining us. You have a wonderful, wonderful evening. You guys take care.